when I was growing up, is yo, hey Mexican. You know, I'm not Mexican. I've never even been to Mexico. You know, and I went, but I knew I wasn't white, and I knew I wasn't black, or Asian. And when I first heard Chicano, it was my uncle who was a policeman. My dad was a policeman too. But he said, some guy wanted him to charge $200 for fixing his car. He says $200, man. Give me a piece of tin foil and a pair of pliers. I'll fix it. I'm a Chicano mechanic. And I go, Chicano, that's it. That's the guy, that's the can-do spirit, man. You know, that's a Rascuache raised to an art form. And I want to be a Chicano, and that's the first time I ever heard a word that described me. Yeah, I'm a Chicano. That's what I am. I'm not this or that or the other. I'm a Chicano. I'm this other thing. And this other thing is really good, and I can fit into it.
Anglo food is too bland, and yet when we go to Mexico, we get the runs. Now that, to me, is embarrassing.
No, Dad!
Japanese Americans, Italian Americans, German Americans, their homeland is on the other side of the ocean. Ours is right next door, right over there. And we gotta prove to the Mexicans how Mexican we are, and we gotta prove to the Americans how American we are. We gotta be more Mexican than the Mexicans, and more American than the Americans, both at the same time. It's exhausting. Man. Nobody knows how tough it is to be a Mexican-American.
I give you a hand with those tubs? Just saying, can I help you out?
No, gracias.
David, I'd like you to ask your father something for me.
Yeah.
You know what, just tell him it was an honor to be invited into his home.
Dad, he said it was an honor to be invited into your home.
Tell him I say thanks.
I thought you...
I get by.
Bobby.
Yes.
Gettysburg.
I don't know. Homeless people got killed.
Come on, scratch a little deeper, Bobby. Who fought there?
Americans.
Americans. How about your ancestors?
Mexicanos.
Yeah. Yoli, help them out. Read the part on the Chicano regiments.
Chicanos?
For Mexican Americans. It was before we moved to East LA and became vatos locos. Oh. Any luck, Yoli? Read a part about Mariano Vallejo and his meeting with Abraham Lincoln. That's it. Paula, help her out. Read the part of 9,000 Mexican Americans who fought in the American Civil War.
Mr. Castro doesn't say anything about Mexican Americans.
Let me see. See, that's funny. We were there.
What side do we fight on?
Both.
Ooh, and we still lost?
Yeah, we still lost. You know what we lost? We lost our legacy. Why? Because we're not in this book. See, if people don't know about it, then it never happened. See, you're learning your history from people that don't know your history. Your blood is in Gettysburg.
Miss, could we see that?
Good evening. Jean?
I bet we're getting the water treatment. Let's get lost.
Set. We're not moving.
But we'll get in trouble.
We're staying. Miss! Miss!
I'm sort of tired. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
In the 1960s, a new generation of leaders came forward and fought for change.
We came here to build the new Chicano movement. That's what we came here for.
They call themselves chicanos, an ancient Mexican word that describes poorest of the poor. But they wore the name with pride.
Come on up, brothers. We are waiting for you.
They walked out of fields and demanded a fair wage. They walked out of schools and demanded better education.
57% of the students at Garfield drop out year after year. There has to be a problem. We're not operating in a vacuum. There's social injustice.
They formed a political party and demanded full citizenship.
It's being classified as militant, but I don't consider this to be militant. If trying to look for justice and democracy in our country is considered to be militant, then I'm all for being militant.
The American dream was all around them, but for years they had been excluded from its promise.
And all of a sudden, the chanting began, Chicano power, Chicano power, ya basta, we demand change.
With our hearts in our hands, and our hands in the soil, we declare the independence of our mestizo nation.
To outsiders, it looked like Chicanos were turning their back on America. To Chicanos, it meant they were here to stay.
It meant we were home. It meant this was our historic land. It meant this is where we were from. It meant we weren't foreigners. It meant we weren't wetbacks. It meant we weren't illegal aliens. It meant we were in our ancestral land.
Azul, ay mi amor, que es rojo dices tú, ay mi amor, ves todo al revés, ay mi amor, creo que piensas con los pies, ay mi amor, me traes un poco loco, un poquitito loco, estoy adivinando qué quieres y pa' cuándo, y así estoy celebrando, que me vuelvo un poco loco.
Music is always something that people identify themselves with. People walk around with a Cure shirt or Misfits, right? So right now, I am this. Right now, I'm the exploited. So everything's about labels, so I'm gonna put something that I can feel and I can be me. Obviously, a lot of Latinos, Chicanos, etc. could just put that on themselves and be like, yeah, I'm Chicano Batman. You know, and be proud. It's not something we think about when we started the band 8 years ago, right? It's only until now, when you play a set, and you have these youngsters come up to you and say, hey man, it's so inspiring to me to see a Latino band on that big stage. It makes me think that I could do something with my life. And that goes way deep.
I don't want nobody else to be around me but you. And nobody's touch and nobody's lips can make me feel like yours do. Our hands interlock, nuestros labios se conocen. Nuestra noche es corta pero hermosa, we'll be okay. Dreaming of you when I'm alone. Baby, don't trip, I'm coming home. Kick it with me, I don't care if the sun is gone.
Just being an artist of color is already kind of like an act of resistance. Like, we're not supposed to make it. Like, you're supposed to stay in the hood. We're so talented. Our minds and our art forms are so intricate. It's something that everybody should know about. Never in a million years would I think that I was gonna be somebody who represented, like, you know, a community that was very unrepresented.